Okay, hi guys, and welcome to another episode. We're back here at the Doomlore Shrine, and we're ready to continue on with the Charr Homeland stuff. I have had a little bit of a look around on Wiki at sort of some of the other stuff around here, and it doesn't seem like there's that many things we can do until we've completed the main story arc, which is what I expected anyway. But I just wanted to check that. So yeah, we will be continuing with the story. There's quite a cool long quest coming up before the final mission here, and we'll just plow on straight through with that. So before we go though, I did want to speak to a couple more henchmen just for completion's sake. So last episode I didn't actually even point out Aiden and Zoe. I just completely forgot about the Rangers. So let's speak to these guys, shall we? So Aiden says, I still have nightmares of the Searing. They are tempered by dreams where Charr die beneath a hail of arrows and Ascalon is glorious once more. Okay, and Zoe says, burned, charred, scorched, such destruction wounds the land. She is but a shadow of her former beauty. So yeah, there you go. Zoe doesn't really have a stake in any of this, to be honest, so yeah, I didn't expect her to say that much. I will add her though, because I like Zoe. Even though I've got Gwen who's doing a lot of yeah, I've got Gwen who's doing a lot of interrupting, so no, screw Zoe. I don't really like the physicals either, to be honest. Which is ironic, I know. I don't think I've actually mentioned this in the Let's Play. I might have. But I'm actually not a massive fan of frontline characters in this game at all, really. Which is, yeah, hilarious considering every single one of my characters has been frontline. But yeah, I just generally don't like them that much. Not if you've already got one, at the very least. Anyway, so there we go. That's these guys. Did we actually grab the start of the next quest? I think, wow, we've actually got quite a few building up here. No, we don't really. I've still got the final assault, really? Why do I have that? Oh, that was for the Black Moa chick quest, I guess. Yeah, okay, so what must be done? Let's continue on. Let's come back out. So we actually get to explore the old Dalada? Yeah, Dalada uplands a bit more. I don't know whether that's sort of a Charr name. That actually kind of is quite an interesting thing that I usually think of. Oh, hey, Vale's back already, really. So you actually get a random chance for him to come. So it's quite lucky that he's here. Anyway, he says, hello, how did I startle you? It's oh, we've already read that out loud. Okay, so cool. Yeah, feel free to read what he's talking about. You know, just go nuts. He's probably got a lot more interesting stuff to say that I will no doubt miss until I'm editing. But yeah, another Ascalonian. Let's grab this. And yeah, let's get a move on. So basically we're going to be going over here. I think there are two ways to go. At least Wiki on the walkthrough says there are two ways to go. You can either try and go through the forest, which is full of the mantids, which are super annoying, or you can try and take out like these huge patrols of Charr over here, or you can position yourself badly, which it looks like I'm about to do, and end up in a fight with both of them. So just do watch out. I'm going to pick the mantids just because I like the forest a bit more. There's so much detail here, it's brilliant. Anyway, yeah, as I was going to say, it's quite interesting to sort of think, did the Charr actually name these areas? So, Dalada, is that like a Charr word? Grothmar? You know, stuff like this. And one of the more interesting things that I think about quite a lot is, you know, Ascalon, okay? The history of this section of land here is that the Charr lived there. They basically had internal struggles and strife and stuff. I think it's because the Khan which is like the unified leader of the Charr, was assassinated. It sent them all sort of into a bit of a frenzy, Charr society. And the Khan still hasn't been found, not even 250 years after the true heir of the Khan, should I say, hasn't actually been decided upon. Even 250 years later, which is why we have the 3 legions for the Charr, which is why we have the Ash, well, 4 legions really, Ash, Flame, who become known as the Gold Legion after what we see here in Eye of the North, Blood and Iron. So yeah, but anyway, I'm getting off topic. Basically, you had this land here. The Charr fell into sort of civil war, kind of, and just sort of everything became a bit chaotic. And the humans came along and essentially took advantage of that, and they stole the lands from the Charr. Now the question is, were the Charr living there and calling it Ascalon or not? Like, I have to wonder this. Did the Charr name it Ascalon, and the humans just sort of came here and they were like, oh, all these Charr are here. We've heard them calling it Ascalon, so we'll continue with the name. Or did the humans then say, oh, we've conquered this place now, we own it, we're going to give it our own name? It's weird, isn't it? And if it is the second scenario, which I kind of think it probably could be, since it was a very long time ago the Charr actually lived there, but if it is that second scenario, then it's kind of like, well, did the Charr still remember their old name for Ascalon? Come Guild Wars 2, they're calling it Ascalon as far as I can see. But it would be cool if, like, in Guild Wars 2 we came up to, like, some Charr scholar, as bizarre as that sounds, or... Oh, Vale died. Wonderful. Will he come back? Oh, we got a green as well. The Wing Shielder. Another one for the pile. There we go. A healing green. I might add that to a hero. if a monk hero. Yeah, when all 3 of the characters meet up, obviously all of our heroes will meet up as well, and then I'll be using. A couple of you have been commenting saying, "Oh, can you please use a full 8-man party?" It will happen when we all meet up again, and all the heroes kind of, so to speak, come back together. If you, I mean, in Nightfall, I spent a good chunk of that with full heroes. I mean, we've seen what it's like, and we will see it a bit more. But yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, so basically, I think it'd be cool if in Guild Wars 2 we came across like a Charr who was like, "Oh, it pisses me off the way we Charr keep calling this place Ascalon. We've forgotten our roots. This is..." I have no idea. Like this, because there's another thing as well. Like the Charr drop Diessa chalices in certain places. I can't quite tell if those are supposed to be. I can't quite remember. I think there probably is a definitive answer for this. I just haven't looked it up. For these Diessa chalices, whether they're chalices that belong to humans that lived in Diessa, because remember here that a part of Ascalon is called Diessa. Yeah, the Diessa lowlands. I wonder if there's a Diessa highlands as well here. That'd be cool. That'd be really cool. But yeah, anyway, and you get like their chalices and stuff. It's pretty cool the amount of links, even if it's just like the names of drops and stuff that are in the game in Eye of the North. They're all quite good links. Where the hell am I going? I'm going the wrong way. It's just because I love this field here, and there's a cool boss over there, which I'll show you later. In the video, hopefully. I'm hoping to get this whole quest off on one video. Like I said, it is a bit of a long quest, but just I love the area around here, and I love the quest. It's brilliant, and it's one of those examples that I'll be able to talk about as to sort of one of these things where Arenanet were trying to push the boundaries with what they could do in Guild Wars 1. Actually, are we going to see that? I don't think we are, actually, are we? We might. We'll have to see what happens. But yeah, in Eye of the North, they definitely tried out a lot of new things, as you can quite clearly see. Even if a lot of them failed, like the Norn trying to give you a race outside the Umbral Grotto, even if they failed, it was cool that they were trying all these different things. And the main reason, as I've said, it was quite a while ago in the Let's Play, I think, but the main reason why they went with Guild Wars 2 is because they had all these ideas for stuff that they wanted to do in Utopia in the next expansion, but they just couldn't quite pull them off. And you see in Eye of North, they're trying to do some things with the Devourers. I'm just going to trail off here so I don't spoil anything. Right, let's come down here. Hopefully those mantids over there don't aggro us. And here we go. Here's a Siege Devourer. We saw a couple of them earlier. I love the model of these guys. The Devourers are just kick-ass. That gives me flashbacks of being in Abaddon's realm. Seriously. That's like the Stygian Veil right there. Anyway, okay, so here we've got Cal Fierce Tongue.
I am not impressed.
Why fight fire with fire when water is available? Okay, so he's a water elementalist. And Seer Fierce Rain. Also, my UI, please excuse it, guys. I've re-downloaded the clients. I actually had a couple of bugs I had to contest with to get this video out, to believe it or not. But yeah, okay, so Pyre Fierce Shot gave me command of this artillery post. Only Pyre's friends may traverse the Dalada uplands. What must be done? Finally, if you were my prey, you'd be dead by now. I have a newly hatched Siege Devourer ready for testing. Go stand out there while I load it. Ha, that was a joke. You should see your face. Well, we'll test it on some Shaman Scouts instead. Bring the Siege Devourer and let's go. Yeah, the Charr are pretty cool because they're not just like ruthless cutthroats, but they're also quite funny a lot of the time. Okay, anyway, sorry, they're speaking. Seer says the Shaman Scouts are east of here. Get a move on. And Cal says, don't forget the Siege Devourer. Must I tell you everything twice? So we're going to click on it, as you do in Guild Wars. You click on everything to do everything. It hisses at us, and we get to choose a command. Follow me, or stop and activate Siege Mode. Well, we want it to follow us, so let's do this. And it's going to follow us. This massive Siege Devourer. Brilliant. Okay, and we're going this way. Okay, let's go. Back up through the forest. There are actually two types of Siege Devourers, I think, or it's just that you kind of manipulate this. Man, I'm really bad at this now. I've forgotten so much about what actually happens in this quest because, you know, you can play Eye of the North a lot, but the quest sadly you only get to do once, right? So yeah, you forget them, and I think that's a reason why I like a lot of the primary quests a hell of a lot. And I've seen a few people who, and this was quite a while ago now, but when I kind of started this Let's Play, I looked at all of the existing Let's Plays and what people were doing with Guild Wars, and a lot of people were just sort of going, "I'll just do the missions. We'll just Let's Play the missions. Who cares about the primary quests?" But for me, you know, I love the not just the secondary quests. We all know I like those as well. But you know, the primary quests are just as cool. They're just as important if you're actually going to pay any attention to the story. And a lot of them are quite fun as well, like this one. So, you know, I always looked at that and thought, oh, how can you just do the missions? I guess if you're sort of going for more of a guide thing, then I can understand that. But, you know, you get hard primary quests as well. I guess it's just because quests don't get... you don't get credit for quests on any titles. And at the end of the day, after titles were added, that was all people really cared about, which is a shame. I don't know what's more of a shame. I kind of see why they added titles. I think it's more of a shame that they didn't add a title for quests and I kind of see the complications with that, because obviously it would really mess them up every time they wanted to add a new quest to the game, because they'd have to rebalance the title or this or that. But, you know, I don't think it was impossible to add a title for quests, and I think even today, you know, barely anyone's playing it, that could be a pretty easy thing people could do to take advantage of a hell of a lot of stuff that's in the game. You know, a lot of players that are just title hunters would probably, you know, all this stuff I've been showing you in this Let's Play, if they added a title for quests, a lot of people would end up seeing that and appreciating it, because barely not that many people have time to, you know, watch something like what I've been doing here, but they'd be more than happy to play it themselves if there was a title for it, you know. Anyway, enough of that rant. Seer says, there they are, move the Siege Devourer into range and target those scouts. I made it human proof, so even you should be able to figure it out. Oh, so the Charr get to act a little bit like the Asura now, do they? Right, so what I like to do here, I think it will be in range, is just stand it on this hill over here. Actually, can we kill those Charr there with it? Siege Devourer, come over here. Did it go into standby mode? No, there it is. Okay. Can we kill those Charr? I'm interested now. Alright, activate siege mode. Click, clack, boom. That there is a reference, if I am getting my facts straight here. Alright, well, we missed. We've aggroed them, but he's missed a load. And did no damage at all. It does a lot of damage, trust me. Yeah, but that's a reference to, I think it's what you enter in Age of Empires. It's a cheat code. You enter that and you get like flaming meteor shower of chickens or something. I don't know, I never played much Age of Empires. A lot of my friends did, but I never really got into it. So yeah, that's a reference to that at the very least. Anyway, so there's another siege attack. Oh wow, it is sieging them. Look at the range on this thing. Amazing. Alright, we'll just let it siege the Charr. Oh, it's coming. So look, you can see that Seeker's on super low health there. Yeah, just very big explosions. It's the kind of stuff they ended up doing with Eye of the North. I think it's because, you know, they had the, you know, it was 3 years on from... Oh my god, can you hear that? There's the ice cream van that you guys might have heard in Bioshock that I had to edit in. Bloody hell, it's 7 o'clock, almost 8 o'clock at night. It's pitch black. It's been raining all day. The end of our summer's just happened, literally. And there is an ice cream... I can barely see it out there, and there's an ice cream van there. I mean... Sorry, I should probably talk about the game, but it pisses me off so much that thing's so loud. It's interrupted me in so many videos, it's unreal. And I guess in a way it's kind of interrupted me here, so yeah. Alright, so bring the Siege Devourer over. Kill these guys. I can't even remember what I was saying now. You know, you see so many of like these things here, like these big helmets. Somebody mentioned in the comments that these could be like skulls of the true giants. I'm not sure I buy that completely. They look a bit metal to me, like you can even see like screws in them and stuff, but that's a kind of a cool thought, I guess. I mean, it would be nice to go to an area where there were loads of bodies of the true giants and stuff, so it was kind of like, oh yeah, they all lived here for a long time happily after a load of the other ones were extinct or something. Or maybe that, because I'm a believer, or I don't know whether I believe it, but I love the idea of it, of the theory that the true giants were wiped out by the elder dragons. They were last awake. The elder dragons just feasted on everything, consumed all life, and then fell asleep, and then the gods came along, saw the Tyrion's potential, blah blah blah. So I like that idea, and if that idea was true, I think it would be amazing if we came to like essentially like a boneyard of true giants, and it's where they gathered to have a big battle, for instance, because they could be intelligent, you know, nothing says that they're not going to be, as much as they kind of remind us of dinosaurs in the real world. Anyway, Cal says, sorry, excellent, now you can work a Siege Devourer without having it blow up on you. If you're not too tired from this simple task, go find Gron Fierceclaw. He's hunting some beast and mentioned something about needing bait. Ha! Got you again! Seeing the look on your face is worth not eating you. I like you, meat. You're fun to play with. Now, go help Gron. He should be near the fields west of here. Alright, so let's get going. Oh, no, Cal's still speaking. Beast hunting? Good, I'm hungry. This no human diet has me cranky. I'm coming too. You don't mind, do you? No, Cal, it's cool. I like you and your jokes. Can we get this guy to follow us? He is. I think he'll follow us. So basically this quest, as you know in the storyline, because you've probably just seen the video before this if you're anything like me when you're watching Let's Play, is we're going to try and assault the stronghold where they've got all of the Eben Vanguard. And essentially this quest is about getting tools to help us. So we're going to be in an awesome mission scene where we'll be using the Siege Devourers quite tactically as well. I think I mentioned it kind of before. Yeah, the Siege Devourer's not coming, it's just a bit slow, isn't it? It's brilliant because it's kind of, there's just enough sort of tactics in the fight that you have to decide on where to split your troops up. And it's, you know, quite intensive on just the simple, what skills do I use and when? Kind of typical combat in Guild Wars. So it's up there. I mean, the quests after that, once we've completed all 3 of these arcs, are just even better. I mean, I really love a lot of the Eye of the North missions, but that's one of the good ones. Anyway, yeah, so continuing through the forest once again. Lots of mantids killed now. Now, this quest you can actually skip. Basically, what you've seen me do here, you can just skip it. If you've done it before, you can't be bothered, or you're playing alongside me. Wow, that lagged out pretty bad there. And you've seen this, and you're just, you know, playing catch up after watching one of my videos. You can skip it all. Just what you just saw me do. You can skip all of that and just go straight to this location here, and you can speak to Gron. Gron, was it? I think it was Gron. Yeah, it was Gron. Yeah, so you can just go straight to Gron and complete that. It's actually quite a long quest because there's like a little bit of like an arena fight in a minute as well, which is pretty sweet. So there's our Elder Dragon over there, or Elder Dragon Champion, whichever you want it to be. Kraukatoric in the distance, and we get this huge field. So here's a Siege Devourer, which... Oh, this will be one of the ones. Okay, alright, so here I can talk about. I thought you could do this in this quest. So you see, this Siege Devourer is quite different. Now that we've killed it, it was with some Charr. Now that we've killed it, it's actually become allied to us, right? And it was using some specific skills. Let's see what Gron says first.
I am not
Pyre led us since we were newly weaned cubs. I would kill for him. Let us hope for your sake, meet, that you do not fall far from Pyre's favour. Yeah, I just thought of something actually. If Pyre's father was one of the Charr that was in Ascalon, didn't they sort of imply that he was from the Flame Legion? Which could mean that Pyre's from the Flame Legion, which could mean that he's kind of not just rebelling against, you know, the Flame Legion itself, but his own legion, which is pretty interesting if he's actually doing that. But yeah, anyway, what must be done? Good, you're here. Now we can get started. I've tracked an enormous armoured Saurus to this area. We must tame it to use it in our assault against the Hierophant stronghold. Show me what you've got, mouse. The Saurus must be cowed or it will not respect your authority. Okay, so before we go to the Saurus, around the Charr homelands, you can find, there's one in each area, I think there's one in the Grothmore War Downs. You can find Siege Devourers just on the off. If you kill them, they'll become allied to you, and if you click them after that, it says this: you are able to mount the Siege Devourer and take control of it. Doing so will replace your skills with those to command the Siege Devourer. You say yes, you see it activates mount here, and there we go. We actually get to mount it. It works just like the Guild Wars 2 skill system, in that if you pick something up or you mount a turret or something, it will change your skills to reflect that. Basically, you've got the same system here. So now we all have Siege Devourer skills. We've got all kinds of new stuff. And yeah, this is basically a mount in Guild Wars. Guild Wars, as you guys know, it was never a game that really cared for mount. It was never one that really used it because it was very anti-grind philosophy behind it. So obviously, you could just map travel to all the outposts, and it was a little bit redundant. But this is one of those things that Arenanet seemed to really want it to be pushing. It seems to me that they wanted to have mounts and stuff in Utopia, but the way that Guild Wars 1 was built and just the systems that they already had in the game, like fast travel, and this is just one small example, was stopping them from being able to be creative with that stuff, and it's what eventually led them to go forward with Guild Wars 2. And it's because of this reason, and because of being able to have mounts here, and what I just explained, that for a long time people thought that mounts were going to be in Guild Wars 2. It's one of those weird topics that everybody gets very in a huff about, and some people are stoically against it and some people are really for it. I don't know really where I stand. I don't think there's something necessarily wrong with them. I think a lot of people get very up themselves and they're like, oh, only kids care about mounts. I think that they can be fun and they can add to the gameplay. But it doesn't matter anyway, because it was recently announced that mounts aren't going to be in Guild Wars 2 at release. So it could happen eventually, but you know, they've done the similar kind of map travel system in Guild Wars 2 anyway. But yeah, this is just one of those things. Obviously, dynamic events is another big one. There's a whole story about how they were trying to do dynamic events in Guild Wars 1 and have like missions that only activated at certain times, and just very odd stuff. Anyway, so here, right, we've kind of got two things going on at once. First, here's a roaming boss called Molotov Rocktail. This was when they were developing Eye of the North, and I believe, and look at my party here, by the way, everybody's dead. When they were creating Eye of the North, and I believe Nightfall as well, they held competitions to help to let people basically name bosses. I think they were called the Brand the Boss competitions, and you get like rewards for it. Molotov Rocktail was some member of the community named him this, and the name ended up coming in. Obviously it's a reference to a Molotov cocktail. He's a cool boss though. He does a lot of damage. Everybody died because he used a siege. He's just a roaming siege devourer. You can't mount this guy. You just kill him. He's like a boss like any other. But yeah, he also drops a very cool green. I think it's like a colossal scimitar or something. It is kick ass. It is huge. It's a brilliant skin. But yeah, very, very cool boss. If he catches you off guard, then you're just out. It's just another thing, if you ask me. It's just a very cool, interesting little thing in an explorable area, as you see in so many places in Eye of the North. Anyway, yeah, so he'll always be there regardless of the quest, but I did want to show you guys me killing him anyway. And here's the Armored Saurus for the quest. I think we can siege people here. The only problem with this mount is it's just so huge, it kind of clutters the screen. And I like to have the camera like this, to be honest, when I'm fighting in the Siege Devourers. What you can also do with the Siege Devourers, which is really fun, like I said, there's one in every explorable area. If you walk through a portal riding one, you'll actually continue riding it into the next area. So you can have like 3 on your team, or maybe even 4. I think there might be 2 in one area. I can't quite remember. So in the end, you can have loads of your teammates riding these things, and it's brilliant if you've got enough humans with you. Anyway, we have Cowed the Armored Saurus. Cal says, it gave up? I can't believe it. I was sure we would have to kill the beast to save you from its maw. Blast. No Saurus steak for dinner. Humph. Now what will sate my hunger? We will eat after the assault, Cal. A hungry warrior is a dangerous warrior. I must teach this beast its commands. The rest of you are late for your next task. Move out. Bornwar Fierceblade needs to teach you humans how to fight like a Charr. Go find him and leave me to my work. Right. Okay, so there you go. The Armored Saurus will be a part of our assault soon enough.
Weak.
I think I've spoken to everyone.
I am not impressed.
I love the guy. I love the little responses they cut, the voice responses the Charr come out with. It's fantastic. All right, yeah, I think that's about it. Oh yeah, there's lots of other little Devourers around. Molotov Rocktail, they just didn't pop before, which is probably a good thing because everybody was nearly dead. So yeah, there you go, that's that quest. The quest isn't quite complete. Like I said, there's going to be another bit where basically it's me and my heroes and henchmen. You know, we're basically our own little warband, really. If you actually consider the amount of henchmen and heroes that you've met in Guild Wars, you put them all together, you're probably much bigger than a warband. But basically the idea of this next bit is it's us versus the fierce warband, which is pretty cool. But we're at 22 minutes, so I guess that's it, guys. I hope you had a lot of fun on this video. And yeah, I hope to see you next time, everybody. Take care.